All right. Well, thanks for hopping on. So I kind of changed around a little bit about what we were going to be talking about tonight, just simply because I had a couple of you message me and ask me if I'd go over a couple of specific things. So I thought this would be a good time to do that. But before we get started, I just have a couple of announcements. And the first thing is we are going to keep our team call on the second Thursday of the month. So we'll keep it at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can kind of count on that. I am definitely open throughout the month if there are other topics that you want to cover. If you want me to hop on another time, I'm happy to do that, or do more like individual training. Just let me know, and I would be happy to talk with you about that. There's a couple of other things coming up. Team Fired Up is doing a intro, like a sneak peek into coaching, a one-day event on May 19th. So if you have anybody that might be interested, I would go ahead and add them to that, or ask Kinsey if you can be added to that group, and then ask people to join that group. And Kinsey, if we get 100 people, 50 people in there, she's going to put all of our names in there for a gift card. So she's doing lots of motivating things she wants to really create a big sneak peek for people. So I know I have some people I'm talking to that are interested. And so it's just a good way, like a non-obligating way to get people involved and kind of understand a little bit about what we do. So, and plus you don't have to run it. You get to just kind of respond to their questions, which is awesome. So those are the two main things that I have. I'm also, if you're a part of Hard Hitters, if you're not, I'm happy to add you, which is one of our upline teams, our large upline teams. I'm going to be teaching the next call. Kelly asked me to teach the next call on May 19th. It's a Thursday night, so that's next Thursday. No pressure to jump on, but if you want to, I'm going to be talking about she's asked me to share how I've had so much success in my first 6 to 7 months as a coach, and how I'm pulling the numbers that I'm pulling and what I've been doing. And it's really all about the basics. So I'm going to be sharing about that. So if you want to jump on, I'd love your support, and also love to share. So that's coming up too. Okay, so just a couple of things. I know that when I first started, the thought of building my team sounded really, really, really intimidating, and I didn't know where to start. I felt like it was kind of this really scary area for me of, I barely know what I'm doing, and how am I supposed to help somebody else do this when I still don't know all the answers? Well, let me tell you, I still don't know all the answers, but I do know that I have all the resources to give people answers. So what I'm going to just be sharing with you is how to, go about building your team, asking people to be a part of your team, even when it's scary. So I have three main things that will help you as you build your team. So the first thing that I want, and then after that, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what to do when you sign a coach, because I know some people are just, that can get kind of confusing. And then also at the end, we'll talk about tracking and what I do to track, and might be helpful for you. And then briefly here too, I'm going to cover team cycle bonuses, because I know that can be confusing now that you're some of you are Emerald coaches and working towards Diamond, or just, so you can kind of understand how it all works. So those are kind of the main things that we're going to talk about. So when you go to build your team, the biggest thing for me was that I felt very alone, and I felt very overwhelmed, because I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, like I kind of just said. So number one, the biggest thing that you need to remember when you start to build your team is to remember that you are not doing this by yourself. Okay? So remember, you are not doing this by yourself. Ways to not feel alone in this: ask questions. Ask me if you don't know. I feel like now that I've done it multiple times, it is a lot easier than I thought it was in the beginning. So use the resources you have. When you add a coach, when somebody is interested, add your coaches to Team Elevate every single time, because they're a part of this team. They have the same opportunities as you do to earn prizes and build our team. So you can add them to Team Elevate. And I'm going to start doing more trainings in the next couple of months for our team and people joining our team too. So add them to Team Elevate, and also utilize Team Fired Up and Team Hard Hitters. Lately, when I have new coaches, I have not been adding them to Hard Hitters in the very beginning. And the reason why is because I had someone recently describe it to me that they felt like they were being hit by a fire hose with all the teams. And I was like, well, that's a good way to put it. So what I've been doing is I've been adding them obviously to Team Elevate and then also to Team Fired Up. And because now Kinsey is doing all of her own trainings as well. And then with Team Hard Hitters, I add them after a couple months once they kind of get the hang of it and they kind of feel like they might need more resources and it's not so overwhelming. So add them to the team pages because you do not have to do this alone. You are not expected to know all of the answers. If you don't know how to do something, like I said, just ask. That's really the biggest thing. This business is a business of duplication, so don't feel like you have to make up all your own stuff. If you're not sure about templates, tell them, hey, Team Elevate has a bunch of templates uploaded. Team Fired Up has a bunch of templates uploaded. Use them. Tell them this is a business of duplication. Obviously, you don't want it to be exactly what someone else said, but you can use things and change a few words in them and make them your own so it sounds like you. But there are so many resources. You are not doing this alone. So number 2, when you are building your team, this is a big one for me. You got to fake it till you make it. Okay. When I first started building my team, I talked like I already had a team underneath me. I said, I'm so excited about the team that I'm building. I'm excited. I'm looking for 5 more women, blah, 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 whatever it may be. Like what I had to sit down and think, what I wanted on the team, and then I wanted to attract those people to me. So what I did was I basically just faked it till I made it. You need to use confident language in the way that you talk to people about what you're doing. And then you can make ads, to draw people in with that. And I'll talk about that in just a second. So number 2, fake it till you make it. Talk with confidence. Tell people about the business like you have every bit of I keep saying it, but every bit of confidence in what you're doing in the team that you're building. So they don't have to know that you only have one coach underneath you and they're a discount coach. They don't have to know that. They don't have to know that you don't have any coaches underneath them. You just talk to them and say, I'm really excited about the team that I'm on. It's growing. And for all they know, you could be talking, you're talking about Team Elevate, okay? Because you are a part of Team Elevate, you're part of Team Fired Up, Team Hard Hitters, and so forth and so on. So, use that kind of language to draw people in and talk with confidence. So also, in building your team, this is the most important one. You present the business opportunity 2 to 3 times a week, okay? Present the business opportunity 2 to 3 times a week. Now, this does not in any way mean that you're saying, come be a Beachbody coach. That's not what you're doing. Okay. What you're doing is you are reminding people that you are a coach. We talked about this a little bit last time, but only 6% of people who are on your friends list see your newsfeed. Okay. So what that means is that there's only maybe 3% of them even know that you're a coach. Maybe they just think you're working out a lot more and you discovered Beachbody products. So use the language that says, I'm a coach, okay? So whether it would be, here are a couple of ideas of how you could do that, okay? So kind of a little sub-ideas. Number 1, do a help wanted ad, okay? I'm going to put one up next week. I break my month up into, I started doing this in the last 3 months. The first 2 weeks I focus on filling my challenge groups, and the second 2 weeks I focus on building my team. So next week what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be posting a help wanted ad, and I can show that to you here in just a second, what mine looks like. But what you would do is you would post, you would say, help wanted, and you would make it fit what you are really looking for. Let's see if I can find mine and screen share it with you here really fast. This is, okay. Let me know if you guys can see this. I'm new at this. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see that picture? Okay, so this is an example of something that I'm going to post next week. It's a picture of me with my girls, okay, because I'm a mom, I'm a girl mom, and I want people to know that. And so all I say is, help wanted, looking for mom bosses who want it all. You don't have to miss a thing. Simple. And then in my text, what I'm going to be talking about to them is about how it's changed my life to be able to Beachbody has helped me accomplish the goals that I want so far. Okay. Now it doesn't have to be big things. Okay. Which is another thing that I want to talk to you guys about too. You could do a help wanted ad. Number 2, you could post about what it has done for you. Okay. So number 2, post about what Beachbody coaching has done for you. So like, for example, you could say something as simple as, let's see, this month was an awesome month for our family. We did so many fun things together. And I'm so thankful that Beachbody helped us be able to go on our little family trip to the zoo this month, something like that. Or something as simple as, you know what? Sometimes we struggle with our month-to-month paychecks, but what I'm thankful for is that Beachbody filled up my gas tank this month. Something simple. It doesn't have to be hundreds of dollars. It could be something simple, a way that it has meant a lot to you. Or even just talking about how you get to work out from home in your pajamas and stay home with your kids, and get fit and get paid to get fit, or whatever it may be. Post about what it has done for you. That's number 2 of that. Number 3, advertise the sneak peek into coaching, May 19th. Okay. Talk about, you could make something that says, if you're even remotely interested about learning more about coaching, here's the sneak peek coming. Keep it simple. Or say, a little while ago, I was looking for a way to get fit and I found my tribe, and I'm able now to take a little bit of pressure off of our family by this Beachbody coaching thing. If you're interested in hearing about it, it's no obligation. Stress the no obligation, because people don't want to feel like they're being pulled into some kind of like a, what are those called? Like the timeshare thing, where you get sucked into these things and then, and then everybody thinks, oh no, I have to commit. No, that's not what it's about. It's no obligation, no pressure, all questions answered. So, that's another way that you can present the business opportunity. The 4th way you could present the business opportunity is to talk about your tribe. Okay, talk about your team. Talk about, tonight after we get off the call, talk about how you were just on a call with your team, and how you could say, I love my job. I get to grow personally, and I get to help other people grow, and I get to do it alongside other men and women who are like-minded. Okay, something simple like that. Post a picture, screenshot something, screenshot your notes or whatever it may be, and share that with people, because people want to see that you're doing something different. Okay, another way that you can post, I didn't have this one written down, but number 5, post about coaching and also about real life. Okay, so whether that is, because people don't want to think that as a coach, they don't want to think that you're some kind of a fanatic that is, that just, all you do is fitness. So, sometimes I think it's really good for them to see that, sometimes I post a picture that I drink a glass of wine. Okay, because I live by the 80-20 rule, and yes, I'm a fitness coach, but yes, I have balance in my life. So those are some ideas for presenting the business opportunity. And the last thing about this that I just want to stress to you in thinking about building your team is this: if you don't ask, no one will ever respond. So if you're not asking, no one is ever going to respond. If you're not presenting the business opportunity, no one's ever going to join you. So kind of think about ways that you could take steps of faith to post about the coaching opportunity. I remember the very first one that I did, and I felt really weird doing it. And I won this, through Beachbody, I won this pink jacket, and I was really excited about it. It says Beachbody Coach on it. And that month we had paid for my daughter's preschool with the Beachbody money. And I had extra money, and I got dark chocolate Ghirardelli chocolates in a big bag at Costco. And I was really excited about that. It was like extra money to do those things. So I made a post, and it was me pointing to my Beachbody jacket. And then I made a description about why I was so excited about what Beachbody has done for me. And I listed, helped us pay for Lila's preschool, and I bought a big bag of chocolates at Costco. And that was exciting for me, and I wanted people to know that. And I got a huge response to that. So just even thinking about something like that would really draw people in. So those are just, as you are starting to think about building your team, and I know that each of you can do it, those are just some kind of things to keep in mind. So what do you do when you do sign a coach? Okay, there are 3 main things that you need to focus on doing when you sign a coach. Number 1, send them a welcome email. So it makes them feel like they're a part of something special. So number 1, send them a welcome email. I uploaded in the file section a couple weeks ago my Team Elevate welcome email. Tweak it, let them, tweak it so it's your own. You can say, welcome to Team Elevate. I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. Put your name in there. And then I put a video in there that kind of explains the basics about what coaching is. And you can write in there, instead of saying, I made this video, you could say, my coach Margot made this video. She's the head of Team Elevate, and it'll kind of explain the basics about what Beachbody coaching is. Okay, make it your own. Feel free to use it, okay? That's why I put it in there, because I want you to be able to take it and use it and just put your name in it. So send them a welcome email so they feel like they're a part of something really special. And do that right after they sign up at the link, okay? And then the second thing, number 2, you want to plug them into our team page. Okay, plug all of your coaches, even if they're discount coaches, you guys, lots of times I tell them that the only requirement, there's no selling requirement with being a discount coach, but the only thing that I ask is that I'll add you to my team page. So if it ever becomes something that's interesting to you, then you can pick it up. So I always add my discount coaches to the Team Elevate page. And I always say if it's too overwhelming and you're not interested, you can turn off the notifications. But most of the time, what I've noticed is that they're all still looking at the posts. They're all still checking it out. So it's a good way to kind of get their feet a little bit wet without them feeling that there's any sort of pressure. So that's number 2, plug them into our team page. And also I would definitely plug them into Team Fired Up. And then if they're really serious about the business after a month or so, plug them into Team Hard Hitters. But I unless you feel like it's someone that's a real go-getter and really, really, really wants to like hit the ground running, I would wait to add them to Hard Hitters just simply because it's overwhelming. So whether you wait 2 weeks or a month, it's up to you, but it really is your call, but that's just my suggestion. And then number 3, and this is along with number 2, don't forget to give them a big welcome in the groups too. Like make a cute picture that has their face that says, welcome new coach, blah, blah, blah. This is how I met them and I'm so excited for them. This is only the beginning for you. I'm so excited to see what you're going to do. Okay, and if they're just a discount coach, just say, hey team, I'd love to, please join me in welcoming Sarah to Team Elevate. She's really excited about starting the 21-day fix, and I'm excited to have her as a part of the coaching team. Okay, and that's all you have to say. You don't have to say that she's going to run the business, but just give them a welcome so they feel like they're a part of something, even if they're not really digging in deep to it. Now, it's obviously up to you too, as far as whether you add them, as a discount coach. I mean, use your best judgment, but most people I do add. Like, for example, I did not add my dad. He's a discount coach, but I did not add my dad because I just knew that probably wouldn't be a very good fit. And he'd probably be on our team call right now making his own suggestions. So he's wonderful, but so in that case, I'm like, no, I think I'll wait, not add him. But for the most part, I do add my discount coaches. Okay, number 3, after you sign a coach, no matter who they are, set up a getting started right call with them. Okay, and the type of call can vary depending on, what their goals are. So if you're ready for it too, before this, in the welcome email, I would send them the About Me form. You can tweak it and make it your own wording if you want, or just send mine and just say, this is our Team Elevate About Me form. And that will really help you kind of determine before the getting started right call what their goals are. And it just basically says, hey, tell me about you. What are your fitness goals? What do you want to get out of this business? And even in the suggestions on the questions, it says, for example, I just want to be a discount coach, or I want to replace my full-time income. So they have freedom to answer the way that they want to answer. So maybe I would highly suggest that you use that form and send it to them with the welcome email. And that will really help you in your getting started right call. So what do you do in a getting started right call? Okay, this is also in the files section of Team Elevate. It's called Team Elevate GSR. That's Getting Started Right. And in there, I list what I do with people on the Getting Started Right call. So basically what I do is we talk, I encourage them. We talk about their goals personally and business goals, even if it's just a discount coach. And then I talk to them. I explain what Success Club is. And then I take them through the Coach Online office. And what I found with most of you, what I did, I found that it's very effective to take people through the Coach Online office on the phone and talk to them about things as you go through the Coach Online office. They can see it. So they see this box for Success Club and you say, okay, so let me explain this to you. This is what Success Club is. So they have something that they're looking at and they have something to reference back to. So that's really what I do with all of my coaches. And I'm growing this process as I'm growing the team. So some of you who are my earlier coaches may not have gotten all of that stuff. So I apologize. I'm growing too. But so that's what I would do. That's what I do now in the Getting Started Right call. So along with that, let me just touch on what I send in that first welcome email. So with the welcome email, I send the same welcome email every single time, and I plug their own personal name into it, and it has basic information in it, and then it also has that video, and then I attach the About Me form to that email. Okay. And then after I have the getting started right call, after that's done, I tell them at the end of the call, I say, hey, I'm going to send you a couple more things just for you to look over. And the things that I send after the getting started right call are the business quick start. I send them a coach tracker, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. And then I also send them a new coach checklist, which basically covers a lot of the things that we talked about, but it gives them like a place to reference back. So also on the call, I also talk to them about our team pages and what they mean and how they can utilize the team pages. So those are all kind of different things to do when you sign a coach. And then I try to check in with them about 2 weeks later. I mean, usually we're constantly talking back and forth, but I try to check in about 2 weeks later and say, hey, would you like to schedule another call so that we can follow up and I can answer any questions? And I usually keep that call pretty brief because I know nobody has a lot of time to talk on those calls. So I say, hey, let's schedule a 10-minute call and let's just catch up. And it's helpful for me to know how to support them, and it's helpful for them too. So those are kind of the things that I wanted to touch on. And the biggest thing that I want to stress to you is it's okay to say that I don't know. Okay. It's okay not to know everything when you add coaches to your team. You're not supposed to know everything. Most people are going to know that you're a newer coach. And so you just fake it till you make it and ask questions and say, oh yeah, that'd be a great thing to throw up on the team pages or something like that for a question. Utilize those things. And it's okay to say that you don't know. So really quickly, I want to touch on why it is important to build your team if you really want to grow this business. So as you guys know, once you add coaches underneath you, you start accruing team volume. So you make volume on the team underneath you. And one of the things I love about Beachbody is that you guys all make 25% commission off of whatever you sell. So as your coach, I don't make any money off of your 25%. I love that because I think you should get rewarded for whatever you work hard for. But what happens as you grow your team, you get team cycle bonuses and you get a bonus off of the volume that your team creates. So whatever your team sells in dollars turns into volume, different volume amounts, and that volume cycles to give you team cycle bonus. So when you're an Emerald coach, you can earn $14 per cycle, which I'm going to explain the cycles in a second. You can earn, if you're a Ruby coach, which means you have 2 Emerald coaches underneath you and then 2 other coaches below, so you have 4 total coaches and 2 of them are Emerald, 1 Emerald on each leg. You earn 16 cycles, $16 a cycle. And then when you're a Diamond coach, you earn $18 a cycle. Now those don't sound like very big amounts, but as you grow your team, you can cycle up to something like 200 times a day. So there's limitations to how much you can earn, but like I just saw recently that if you're a 7-star Diamond coach, you can make something like $7,000. Your cap is $7,000 a week in team cycle bonuses. So it's not, you have the ability to make a lot of money off of team cycle bonuses. So that's why it's really important to grow your team. So let me share with you how that all works, just so you kind of have an idea, because this kind of had me lost for a long time. Okay. So right here, you can kind of see, this is I'll upload this website too. It's a really good website. It kind of explains a lot about, team cycle bonuses and what it all means. Okay. But this is an example of the team cycle bonus in action. Okay. So that green dot would be, let's say that's you. Okay. And these are your legs. So the green dot means that you're an Emerald coach. So you have coaches underneath you. So let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coaches underneath you on this side and 2 on this side. All right. And let's say that this side, so whatever side makes the most volume for that week is considered your strong leg. Okay, so it can vary from week to week what your strong leg is. So I actually didn't understand that. I thought that you were stuck with a strong leg and with a weak leg, but that's not how it works. It changes depending on the week and which side accrues more volume. So let's say that these coaches, they accrued 540 team volume points with what they sold. Okay, and your right leg, so this would be your weak leg this week, only had 200 in team volume. And the way that it works is they look at your strong leg and they subtract 200 from your strong leg and 100 from your weak leg, and that is a cycle. Okay, so they subtract 200, so that would take it down to 340, okay, for the first cycle, and down to 100 on the right leg. And then you have enough to cycle again, because 340, 200 can go into 340 again. So there's another cycle, and there was 100 left, so there's 100 left here. So that leaves you with 0 left after the cycling, 0 left on your right leg, and 140 left on your team volume on your left leg, okay? So that would mean that you cycled twice. Okay, so if you're an Emerald coach, that means that you would get $14 for this cycle and $14 on this cycle for a bonus. So on top of whatever you sell for the week, okay, let's say you sold, you have $200 in commission coming your way, then you would also have an extra $28 on top of that Beachbody gives to you, which is awesome. And like I said, this doesn't sound like a lot right now, but as you grow your team, I mean, I know, like, for example, Kelly on Hard Hitters, she probably has, you know, in one given week with, you know, having 1,000 coaches underneath her, she probably has something, you know, so she could have something like 30,000 team volume points on one leg and 20,000 on the other. So if you can see what I'm saying, I mean, that's really where you start to make your money, is by having your team underneath you. So I know this could be kind of confusing, but then also the thing that this website stresses is that your team goes down infinite levels. So let's say, for example, I'm just going to use, I see Stephanie's face right here, right? Just right in my little vision here. So let's say, you know, I'm Stephanie's coach. So whatever volume she produces, that counts on my team volume cycles. And as she signs coaches underneath her, they also count in my team volume cycles. And if her coaches that are underneath her sign coaches, they also count in my team volume cycles. So there's infinite levels that you can go down as you build your business. So that's why it really pays to build your team. Side note, it does pay to sign up your spouse or a significant other or a family member, your mom, your dad. You know, Tim keeps trying to get me to sign up our child, and I keep telling him we can't do that. And the reason why it benefits you is because if you sign up your spouse first thing and put them on one of your legs, they are going to be making volume off of the coaches that sign up after them underneath that same leg. Do you see what I'm saying? So what it ends up doing is it ends up benefiting you, even though, like, Tim does not work the business, but he's one of my coaches. I run his account, and he's also making volume points because he's an Emerald coach. He's making volume points, and he's also making commission off of whatever I sign up through him. So which essentially comes back to me. So it's actually ends up being really beneficial. And what I end up doing is, if I know some of you are like, well, I can't keep them active. What I use Tim's account for is I use his account because to stay active, he has to accrue 50 volume points to stay an active coach. As an Emerald coach, I think it's 52, but or maybe it's 90 when you're Emerald. I can't remember. I'll have to look that up. But what I end up doing is I either buy samples with his account and I sell them to people, or I use his account to buy prizes for my challenge groups. So I've been putting out that money anyways, but then it ends up helping me with being on Tim's account. So that's that. Okay, so, and then the last thing that I want to cover is tracking. Okay, tracking is a really important part of what we do. And I know it's something that we don't often put a lot of effort in because it's easy to kind of do chicken scratching, and I'm really guilty of that. I don't do well tracking on the computer. Some people do, but I'm a pen and paper kind of girl. But I'll show you what I use. And then also, this is also uploaded in our file section. It's Brandy Botts is the leader, TKO. She's the upline above Team Hard Hitters. She's got a very large team, but she uploaded this coach tracker. So there's a lot of pages in it because she does different trackers depending on where you are and what level of your business. So, but the one that I use, let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure this out. Share screen again. Okay. Can you guys see that little piece of paper there? Okay. So, let me see if I can pull this up here. Okay. Okay, so this is what I use. This is a daily action plan. Okay, this is like something that I use every single day. I don't always get all of this stuff filled out. I use my planner for it a lot of times, but this is how it works for me. Okay, I put in my schedule for the day. Okay, and then today I'm grateful for. I love this because it helps me stay focused on not just coaching stuff. And then, sorry, I'm trying to get this out of here. Okay, there we go. And then Fit Boss Tracker. So this is, I have my Shakeology. I haven't done any me time yet today. And personal development I am not done yet, which I'm planning to do before I get off the phone. I did my workout. When I checked this off, I had gotten this much water. I've gotten more water in. Today I'm proud of myself for getting up and getting it done, even though I'm super sore. Thinking about today, this inspired me thinking about how far I've come. Tomorrow I'll be intentional about my buckets, and for me, that's making sure I take personal time. And then it has 3 must happens. Okay, so you write down the things that are important. For me, it was prepping for this call by Power Hour and going to the post office. And then social media posts. It talks about what did you do for those posts. And it's okay to change things. Like I ended up doing a transformation post, but I ended up doing the post of Tim and I doing our workout, which was kind of fun. And then, for me, this is the team builder one. So since I have a team, for me, I'm, doing these things, checking the Coach Online office, checking in with my group, challenge group check-in, messaging all these people. I did check in with my challenge group, even though it's not checked off. Interacting in interest groups, which is something I'm working on. Adding 5 friends and 5 invites to a challenge group, 5 invites to coach, and then follow up with 5, which I did, and then check messages and notifications. So this is what I do every single day. And it helps me keep on track and stay focused. And there's a lot of different sheets in there. There's another one that's just the Coach Power Hour in there, which is what I would suggest that you use. And it's just like a little check sheet. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like this. This is an old one that I used to use, Coach Power Hour. And so it's just a way to keep you on track. And I was actually thinking about going to Staples and getting maybe 3 months worth of these done. So they'd be like pages done. So if that's something any of you are interested in, message me after this and I'd be happy. It'd probably be like somewhere from $5 to $10, but message me. I'd be happy to have them multiples made for you if that would be something that would be helpful to you for your business. So that's what I do every day. Does anybody have any questions? No? Everybody's good? You're muted. There you go.
I know. I had to find my unmute button. I did have a question, but now I have to look at what my question was. Oh, I had a question about, so you're saying so if you start adding people to your team, then you add them to your page, to the Team Elevate page. At what point do you start kind of making your own team? Did you name because I saw that you named your team not that long ago, last month. So at what point do you kind of start branching out to your own team stuff?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I started doing it. I did it when I became a Diamond Coach at the beginning of February. So that's when I did it. Some people wait and they want to gain momentum. And so they just, some people don't have time to have their own team page, and that's okay. So I know my coach who was above me just now made her team page because she was just plugging people into Team Fired Up, which is totally okay. It really depends on you. I was just really anxious to do it because I have a heart for having, a tribe of people that I can build into. That's just really what I want to do. So for me, I wanted to do it right away because that's just that's what I wanted. So it just really depends. So, yeah. Anybody else? Awesome. Well, hey, I would love to hear from you guys. If you can send me a message, let me know if you want me to include you on maybe making some tracking stuff, if that would be helpful for you. And then also let me know what topics would be helpful for you. So for our next team call next month, let me know what would be helpful for you to be covered, because that will help me kind of help you where you're at. Because I know that sometimes you have all these questions rolling around, and I'm happy to cover whatever's most helpful for you guys too. So, yeah. All right. Any final thoughts? Everybody okay? Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks for jumping on, you guys, and I hope you have a really good night.
You too.
Hey,
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.